Trace.
And I'm Sam.
And we're just two bros, broing it out. Bro down. And this is From Our Perspective. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing great, bro.
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 There are people in this world who say the word bro unironically, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro? Oh, no.
Dude, I totally know what you mean, bro.
Oh, no, it's happening to us now.
I'm morphing.
And then my current shirt turns into like a collared shirt, but I have a second one underneath it, and both of those collars are popped.
Yeah.
My hat.
Like a surfboard materializes out of my side.
Bro, I grow a puka shell necklace.
Like your collarbone comes out. It's
yeah.
horrifying.
Anyway, this is the 28th episode of From Our Perspective. That was a disgusting intro.
Terrifying note.
Yeah. Welcome to the 28th episode From Our Perspective. The only podcast blessed by Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go follow us on social medias, because I've posted what I would like to think is a pretty cool video. But if you don't have a social media, or you're just lazy and don't want to follow us, so there's this website that you can go to called Fiverr, and you basically go, and if you give people it's not like a huge amounts of money. Like, I spent $20, but I didn't have to spend $20. I just went for the highest quality I could.
Yeah.
So you give them a certain amount of money. Most people it is $5. That's why it's called Fiverr. And they just kind of do whatever you ask them to. They make a video. Most of them are promoting projects, stuff like that. Yeah. But there's this guy who I've kind of followed. His name is Jesus.
Don't know if you heard of him.
Don't know if you've heard of him. He's got a book. Pretty popular, I think.
Bestseller, I think.
Bestseller. No, but I don't know what his actual name is. But his whole gimmick is that he looks like Jesus. Yeah. He's a funny dude. And I was like, I kind of want to get like a weird video to promote the podcast. So originally, and I wasn't going to tell Sam any of this, and I didn't tell him until I sent him the video.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Sam, are you familiar with a website / application on a phone called Cameo?
I am not familiar with that, no.
So Cameo is similar to Fiverr, where if you give people money, they will make a personalized video to you. And it's not just any people. It's D-list celebrities.
Are you serious?
So this was my original plan. My plan was to get someone on Cameo to make a video for us. And people on Cameo, there are people such as Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh my god.
Let me see. Andy Dick. Chum Lee from History Channel's Pawn Stars.
Are you...
Now this is the one that I really wanted to get so bad, but I think he was expensive. Let me see if I can. Okay, I can't see how expensive he was, but I wanted to get the one, the only Flava Flav. But everyone on that app, because they're quote unquote celebrities, overcharged the hell out of a 30-second video.
Yeah.
Actually, the guy who I got is also on Cameo, but he was charging kind of the same prices. But yeah, it's like this amazing app where these has-beens, and I don't say that. I mean, not everyone on there is a has-been.
How dare you talk about Gilbert Gottfried like that?
But no, of course not everyone is a has-been, but these people who just don't do anything anymore. Like I don't know if most of them have retired or what, but they just go on here and they like the guy who played Samwise and Bob
Was
on
he on
Stranger Things. He's on there, but
Yeah.
he charges you like $250 for like a 30-second video.
Yeah.
You say
What
that
did you
like it's
expect?
nothing.
No, that is a lot, but I don't know.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert Gottfried was expensive. I was just kind of going through this list of people. Charlie Sheen is on this app. There are so many people on the app. I wish I could. There's really too many, and a lot of these people are like actually D-list celebrities, like people you would not know. So I would love to like go through it and see some of them, but there's just way too many. I'll go
Yeah.
through like the featured area. Chris Hansen of To Catch a Predator fame. I wanted to get him as well, but he
Well,
was
this seems
expensive.
very rude to the guy who did ours, where you're like, I wanted to get this guy, and I wanted to get
Well,
this guy.
Well, I wanted to get
Shout
like
out
an
to-
actual. I actually wanted to get
Jesus.
like a celebrity, because I thought what better commercial is there other than a celebrity endorsement? And then I said to myself, well,
One by Jesus.
what about actually Jesus?
Yeah. How about that?
But no, I like I said, I've followed the guy who does the Jesus thing. I like him. He's a funny dude. And I honestly I'd totally forgotten about him. And then the other day I was like, what if I go to Fiverr? Oh wait, that Jesus guy does this. So I looked up his thing.
Hell
and
yeah.
that's- but here's some other
What's
people.
his Twitter so that people can find him?
Most of his stuff, Twitter and Instagram, are SoCal Christ, like Southern California, SOCAL Christ. That's most of his things. Other people on this app are Ernie Hudson of Ghostbusters fame.
Yes.
I was about to say Rick Harrison from Pawn Shop, but no, it's Chris Harrison from ABC's The Bachelor. Never mind. Of course, we've got Charlie Sheen, Ice-T.
Interesting.
We've got Brett Favre, NFL legend. Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. Rick Harrison is on here. Never mind. Tony Hawk and Gary Busey.
Oh, Gary Busey.
Yeah, I did want to try to get Gary Busey, but again, very expensive.
That'd been dope.
That would have been dope. I would have loved to do that, but yeah. There are also some other people like Norm Macdonald and Tommy Chong. So it's crazy. It is a crazy app, full of awesome people that I would love to give money to, but I'm not gonna give that much money for a 30-second video. I'm sorry, Norm Macdonald. $250 for a 50-second video of you sitting in your recliner is not worth it.
Nope.
Okay, that's basically all I want to talk about. Is like the great app that is Cameo. If you all want us to do cameos, we'll do it exclusively for $500. We'll sing you happy birthday. But anyway, into the main topic.
Yes.
This
what is
week,
that, Trace?
this week, I am taking the reins. And we are going to talk about festivals from around the world.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's like, it's just like these weird scenarios where people are like, this one thing that we like, and these aren't like regular music festivals or things like Burning Man. It's just like these weird things where people are like, this one very specific thing that we all like. What if we all get together and throw a big, like, 3 to 4 day party around this one thing?
Kind of concept.
Some of them are actually like a day or so, but it's just crazy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. The first one I want
Yeah.
to talk about. I want you to. I was gonna say guess, but you don't have nothing to guess
There's
off
not.
of.
I have no frame of reference.
Um, this is a festival held in Port Lincoln, Port Lincoln, Australia, South Australia.
Okay.
The next
Kangaroo Day.
one. Yep, no. The next one coming up is going to be the 24th to the 27th of January 2020. This festival
Okay.
is one that I would hate. It is Tuna-rama.
Tuna-rama.
Tuna
You love fish, though.
Tuna-rama.
I bet that smells real good out in
bet
that
it
Australian
does.
sun.
It is, well, I was about to say it is January, but January for them is summer.
That is summer. That's the middle of summer.
Yeah. That's so
It's
weird
like,
to me.
what is that, like July, essentially?
Yeah, that's so weird. That's such a weird concept to grasp. Like, if you go in January, it's
Yeah,
going to
no,
be
right?
hot.
People go out and they celebrate tuna.
Oh,
You
I
meant
was-
the season.
I mean, the festival itself, yes, is batshit insane, and I would not expect it to come from anywhere else.
Now, I've always heard that their toilets go the other way. Is that true or is that false?
I don't think that's true. I think that's like an old wives' tale. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I could also,
no.
I could also be
Because
wrong.
that sounds really dumb when I say it.
What is that thing in the ocean that they teach you in science class, like about the currents?
Oh, I have no idea.
I
Where it's
don't
like, are you talking about like the thing where the mountain and it like goes down, or whatever?
I don't know. I don't know. Regardless,
certainly don't
let's
know.
talk a little bit about Tuna-rama because they have
Tuna!
competitions. They have different competitions. I'm looking
Okay,
at their
hold on.
website. Huh?
Please tell me that there's a part in this where people hit each other with tuna.
No, but there
What?
is-
Are you
there is
fucking
something,
kidding me?
There is something with tuna.
Yeah, I would imagine. If there wasn't, that would be the dumbest thing ever.
What do you think they do with tuna?
I just had an image of a bunch of Australian people hitting each other with giant tuna.
That
And
would be
that's
a good
what I
one.
wanted.
But what is it that you think they actually do with tuna?
They build a giant tuna like out of wood and they set it on fire and they chant to the old gods.
That's just Burning Man. But with
Yeah,
the tuna.
but with the tuna. It's like that episode of Jimmy Neutron where his dad goes to the burning duck. Do you remember that?
No, but that sounds like something off of that fever dream of a show.
I love that show.
So this is what they do with the tuna that they have. The very first event on this event page is called the Bendigo Bank Tuna Toss World Championship.
Tuna toss, huh?
Yeah, so what is when I say tuna toss, what does that mean to you?
I picture, you know, like those running tracks where people do like the long jump in like
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Yeah.
I picture that, but there's a guy with like the stereotypical Australian hat, and he's got a tuna, and he just like over the head throws it as hard as he can.
So
and then
you're
they
not
measure how far it goes.
you're not far off. I don't know that sport, but it's that one where they have like the big metal ball and they spin around and
it's
then
like-
chuck it.
Yeah, that's
don't know.
what is that called? I know it.
Big metal ball chuck is what they call it.
I'm sure it'll come back to me, and I'll be sure to scream it.
Yeah, screaming
If
at
I
the
do
top of your lungs. But it's that. I'm
Shot
looking at
put.
shot put. Yep, that is that it.
I think so.
Look it up
Oh,
real
now
quick.
I gotta Google it.
Google it real
Here
quick.
we go.
So
type.
here's the I'm looking at a picture for the tuna toss, and it is a man, and his hat isn't. It looks like a bucket hat, so it's not very far off from what you were thinking of.
Yeah.
He's in some short shorts and a t-shirt, and he's got a tuna, but it's got like this metal grasp puncturing its side so he can easily spin it and throw it.
Like over his head?
No,
Like a lasso?
kind of like a... So there's like this spray-painted circle on the ground, which I would imagine is like his spinning area.
Oh, like in a circle, like Mario with Bowser?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you're describing? Because that's
Basically.
hilarious.
The highlight of the festival, this is the description. Have a go at tossing a tuna for your chance to win the Tuna Toss World Championship. Competitors travel from around the globe to see who can throw these 10-kilogram fish the farthest. With big cash rewards and a unique trophy, this is the one item for anyone's bucket list. I don't think so. We did a whole episode on bucket lists, and never once did it cross my mind. You know what? I'd like to
Let's
throw
go
a
to Tuna
tuna.
Fest.
I'd like to compete in the Tuna Toss World Championship. That never once crossed my mind while making a bucket list.
That does sound pretty great, though.
So yeah. So that's one thing. They also have some other things like
It is shot put, by the way.
It is
That
shot
the
put.
name of the sport.
They also have like a boat competition for like you build like a cardboard boat. It looks like it's for kids, but there seems to be a grown man doing it as well. And then you race the
Did they
boat.
have like a float ceremony, like competing tuna floats?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem to be at least. There
This
doesn't
is the
seem to be
lamest
one.
tuna festival.
They have like a commando course, fireworks, a children's Olympics. They have a keg roll.
Why?
Which you
It seems
know,
unrelated to tuna.
you know how Australia is like the Texas of Florida or of Britain, the Texas or Florida of Britain.
Yes, it is kind of that.
Just imagine this festival happening in one of those states, and you'd be like,
I could absolutely
it's the
see
South.
it, but it wouldn't be tuna. It'd be like
Bass.
it'd just be like 4th of July. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, where your family gets together, throws tuna and stuff.
Well, maybe not the tuna.
we have here a prawn peeling competition.
Gross, horrible, nasty.
And it, for whatever reason, all of the competitors in this picture seem to be old women. I don't
think
know.
it should be called prawn shucking.
That
corn.
sounds even more gross.
I know, that's why it should be that. Because the idea of peeling the skin off of a shrimp is nasty. Are prawns and shrimps the same thing?
I think so. Is your... I know you have children, Sam. Is your little one too small to throw a tuna?
I don't have kids. I don't know.
Okay, but let's say hypothetically...
I didn't know if I was
your-
supposed to go along with that.
Hypothetically, if you had children
little
and they
tyke.
were aged 11 to 15, do you think they could toss a tuna?
I think I could have tossed a tuna when I was 11 or 15.
But do you think you could toss a salmon easier? That's right, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. They have a teenager tuna toss, which is just the salmon toss.
Teenager tuna toss.
That'd be a good one.
So it's salmon instead? Salmon aren't that big.
That's
I don't
I think
feel
that's the thing. It's for 11 to 15-year-olds. It's for kids. Now, don't kind of spit on that one yet, because there's also the Spencer Gulf King Prawns Prawn Toss, calling all 5 to 10-year-olds. Come down to the
Throw
tuna.
a shrimp?
Yeah. This was the appeal of this festival to me. Is there's just a lot.
I just picture a little like I just picture like a 5-year-old standing in that shot put area, and they just overhand throw a shrimp.
This was the appeal of this festival to me. Was just the amount of seafood throwing there was. Because everything
They're
else.
they're like, what do we do with all this seafood? We're celebrating it. What do we do with it? How about we throw it?
Have you ever thought about throwing it? Because here's the
Did you
thing:
think about throwing
everything else on here, except for the stuff that's related to tuna, prawn, or salmon, just seems like a summer festival.
Yeah. Like barrel rolling? That sounds cool if
There's
dangerous.
tug of war, a watermelon eating competition, but don't forget the fucking prawn toss.
The main event.
The main event. Okay, that's Tunerama. It's
I
great
love
and
it.
all. It's just wonderful. I'm gonna kick it over to Oxa. Oxa. I'm not even gonna. I'm gonna kick
Come
it
on,
over
you
to a
can do
town
it.
in Mexico,
Okay.
where they celebrate Noche de los Rábanos. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. If not, please don't correct me because honestly, I don't speak any other languages.
Don't at me.
Don't at me. Do you happen to know what I just said? Like
No.
in English? No.
What was it again? Can you say it again?
Noche de los Rábanos.
Noche. Is that like? I don't know what that is. Is that night?
Yes.
Night of the.
Rábanos. It's Night of the Radishes, Sam. It's Night of the Radishes.
Okay.
It's an annual event.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Night of the Radishes. That
Night
sounds
of-
like Night of the Living Dead, but
The,
with
basically,
radishes.
in order for any of these festivals to have qualified for this episode, for the spotlight on this episode, it had to have an appeal. And the appeal for this one was the name itself.
So are we
because
moving
Night of the-
on? Did they throw radishes at all?
No. Basically, what it seems to be, and I
All
didn't...
the people of this town hide from the living radishes that come out of the ground that will eat your children.
It's kind of a Christmassy festival. It's held on December 23rd. This is exactly what it says. It's dedicated to the carving of oversized radishes to create scenes that compete for prizes in various categories.
So, like
So
pumpkin
basically,
carving.
yeah, it's basically like a pumpkin carving but with radishes. And do you know like those little dried apple dolls?
No. What are you
Okay.
talking about?
So it's like people will use like dried apples as like the heads of dolls and it looks really creepy.
That does sound really creepy.
Yeah, that's basically because anytime you carve a fruit or vegetable or rooted thing, it looks off a little bit. And let me tell you, some of these are just a little scary. Like this one
let me
right
look.
here. This one right here.
Night of the Radishes. I'm looking it up.
You'll find it on the Wikipedia page. This one right here on the right is what looks to be like a pyramid, Chichen Itza style,
Yeah, what the hell?
with a disembodied woman's head on
Head.
top.
There's a disembodied head there.
But it's made out of radishes. So yeah.
It's not a real woman's head.
Yeah, it's not an actual woman. So yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. There's got to be more to it, like culturally, but that isn't funny. So I'm not going to talk about it. So I'm going to move on.
Okay.
This one you might have heard of.
Okay.
Now, a lot of these that I've found have had kind of Hispanic origin,
Okay.
because this one comes from Spain.
Okay. Well, what are we working with?
Have you heard of the one where they all just go out in the street and throw tomatoes at each other?
No, I haven't heard of that.
You haven't heard of the Tomato Festival?
No.
Okay. It's held in an eastern Spanish town, where participants throw tomatoes and get involved in tomato fights purely for entertainment purposes. Since 1945, it has been held.
Why?
I don't know.
Why 1945? What happened?
Here's the history of it. It started the last
Wasn't there a civil
Wednesday
war?
of. Yeah, I think so. It started.
So they had a civil war. Then they were like, you know, what'd be fun. What if we threw tomatoes at everybody?
What if we just threw some? Well, the Civil War was in the 30s, I think.
Yeah, I know, but like 10 years later, they come up with Tomato Day.
Let's go throw some tomatoes. It started the last Wednesday of August in 1945 when some young people spent the time in the town square to attend the Giants and Big Heads Figures Parade.
Hold on, what?
The
What is that?
Giants and Big Heads figures. Okay.
Is that another thing?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like Festivalception.
Basically, they were attending a different festival, and something that one of the participants' big head fell off. So the participants whose big head fell off flew into a fit of rage and began hitting everything in his path. There was a market stall of vegetables that fell victim to the fury of the crowd. People started to pelt each other with tomatoes until the local forces ended the fruit battle. It was originally banned in the early 50s, but it did not stop people, and people who participated were arrested. Eventually, people started protesting. It was uncanceled in 57. So basically, people just go out and throw tomatoes, and there is
I would hate that.
There is a list of 6 rules. For La Tomatina.
You can't put a rock in your tomato.
Do not throw bottles or hard objects.
I thought we were throwing tomatoes.
Yeah. Do not tear or throw T-shirts. Squash tomatoes before throwing them to avoid hurting others. Keep a safe distance from trucks. Don't know what
Not
trucks.
cars, just trucks.
I think they. Yeah, what it looks like is people come in a big truck and have a bunch of tomatoes that they throw at each other. Stop throwing tomatoes after the second starter pistol is shot, and follow the directions of security staff. Apparently, this hasn't just stayed in Spain. A bunch of other places have started to also have a tomato fight. Also,
I hope this never catches on.
Well, it's
I don't
caught
want
on
this to catch on
in.
here. I don't.
It's caught on in Colorado.
Not going there.
Texas.
Never going to Colorado.
Texas.
Nope.
It's called the
All right,
Colorado-Texas Tomato War, in which where they stand off and throw tomatoes. It is also caught on in Reno, Nevada.
I think they should, in Texas, they should throw jars of old El Paso salsa at each other.
Oh, yeah.
That probably wouldn't hurt very much.
To get hit with the jar of salsa. No, I don't think so.
I'm not going to any of those states now because I would hate to get hit by a tomato and not realize what's going on. So I'd probably just get angry.
Okay, so the next one.
They're like, dude, it's just part of the festival. I'd be like, it's fucking festival.
Go fuck yourself. This next one is also Spain. This one is called the Fiesta de Santa Marta de Ribarteme. I was really close to pronouncing
Timmy?
it all right until the very last word.
Timmy?
Ribarteme. Basically, this is the festival of near-death experiences.
Great. It's always nice to relive those.
Yeah.
Very healthy.
As its name suggests, it is a celebration for those who have had a near-death experience and lived to tell the tale. Saint Marta de Ribarteme is the patron saint of resurrection. The lucky
St.
survivors attend. The lucky survivors attend the festival in a coffin.
Creepy.
It is a good place to
Sure,
go.
that's not traumatic.
It would be really funny if they were forced to do this festival, like against their will. Like they're like,
No, I don't want to go in.
I know I survived a heart attack, but I don't want to do this.
Please, please don't do this. Or like,
Yeah.
it's like a 6-year-old girl who like survived a really bad car crash, and she's like, I don't want to go in the coffin, mommy.
No, like she was
like,
the only
she's
survivor.
Like, sweetheart, you have to.
She's the only
Oh,
survivor,
Why do you
and
have to go there?
thought it'd be
No,
funny.
it's the whole family survived, and they're like, sweetheart, we all have to get in the coffin now.
It's a very big.
We all
coffin.
survived that car crash, and it was very bad. And I need you to get in the coffin.
Get in the coffin.
Get in the coffin.
Apparently, thousands of people line the streets of this tiny village. Starting at 10 a.m., the relatives of the people who narrowly escaped death are expected to carry their loved ones in coffins to a small church, where there is a. Yeah, they're expected to. They're
Notice that.
basically they're forced to.
Yeah. They're like,
They're kind of
National You Survived a Horrible Tragedy Day is coming up. Have you got your coffin ready? Is it ready to go?
It's
Have you
actually
dusted it
passed.
off?
It was on the 29th of July.
You know, I'm just saying, like the mayor or whatever, or like
He's like, you brushed off, you pulled your coffin out of the attic yet?
have you gotten it out? Moved your Christmas decorations out of the way and pulled out
Got it ready? Is it
coffin for?
Are you sure? Are you sure little Jessica's gonna fit in there?
She's grown a lot since that time she got mauled by a jaguar.
Since that time she went cliff jumping and barely made it out alive. Basically, they carry their relatives to a small church where there is a shrine to the Virgin Santa Marta, and they have a mass. It's kind of like like I said, it's she's the patron saint of resurrection, so it's like this whole ordeal about that they were lucky, and that's what they're celebrating, their luck in not dying.
Do they have to stay in the coffin this whole time?
That would be hilarious. Now, the website that I found kind
They're
of
out baking in the Mexican sun.
Yeah, it's this one is also Spain. So they would still be out baking in that Spanish sun.
In the Spanish sun.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's kind of a lucky thing. Like, you're lucky.
No
so
disrespect meant to this holiday either, or this festival.
It's just a little strange.
You do
The whole
you. We do
coffin
weird
thing.
things here.
Yeah,
Have
we do.
Have you seen the events of Kentucky Derby and leading up to it? It's a little crazy.
Yeah, but it's not.
There's a
like,
lot. There's a lot of hype about a bunch of horses running around a circle.
Yeah, but it's not like put your loved one in coffins weird.
At least that's interesting.
Are you saying horses running isn't?
I mean, it's kind of interesting. Maybe
Yeah,
the first
that's
time
kind
you
of
watch it, but
interesting.
then like, I'm 22, and I've seen that quite a few times now. And now it's like, okay, it's the same thing every year. One of them wins, none of them die.
Sadly. So if you think horses running is a little interesting, we're gonna talk about the running of the bulls. Now this shit gets interesting because you don't know who the hell's gonna get gored.
How many people have died in this thing?
Every year
Here, I'll
between
look-
here.
Oh, you have a number. Okay.
Every year, because the Wikipedia has tab injuries, fatalities, and medical attention.
Oh my goodness. So I love the idea. Is this earlier in the year from the one about the trauma?
Let me see.
So they have this running of the bulls so that there's more people to put in coffins in that later festival.
Well, it says right
Well,
here. It says every year between 50 and 100 people are injured during the run.
Oh my god.
Not all the injuries require taking patients to the hospital. In 2013, 50 people were taken by ambulance to the hospital, with the number nearly doubling that of 2012.
What the heck?
So I would imagine it started in 1910 because
Okay.
it says 15 deaths since 1910 in the Bull Run. So
Okay, so only 15
in
people
a
have died.
hundred years, there have only been 15. Wait, overall since the record keeping began in 1910. When did this thing start?
They've probably been doing it for a long time, if
Um,
I had to guess.
let's see. Is an event that involves running in front of a small group of cattle, typically six. There are only six bulls, and people die.
Oh, only 6 giant hooved horned beasts.
Sorry. um, it looks
Sorry,
like
the people who got murdered by 6 bulls.
it looks like it might have started in the 1800s. I can't for some reason it's like telling me all this other stuff, but it's not telling me like, when it started.
It's a state secret.
Yeah, apparently Spain is really embarrassed about the year it started. But in
Or
the
it's
past,
secretive.
oh, so the website or the Wikipedia page, with the part where it tells about the deaths, has the age, name, year, and the cause of death. Now I want you to guess how most of these people died.
Uh, is it the horns?
It's
Or is it the
goring.
hoofs?
It's getting gored.
Yeah, so they get like... That would suck.
They get impaled by a horn. Now this one in 2003, this person was hit by a horn. Now I'm not sure if that means that they weren't stabbed. Oh,
Maybe it
one
was
of
just
these
like a
people.
side swipe
These
to the head.
one of these people were from the United States. What are you doing over there, buddy?
What do you... I mean, I guess they wanted to participate.
Illinois. Why would you raise such a fella? Yeah, most of them.
Have you ever looked at the horn of a bull?
Yeah, they're big and scary, and I would not want to be
They're not-
chased by one.
But here's the key. They're not particularly sharp.
Yeah, but they're
So-
sharp enough to gore a person.
Yeah, it's just that it would hit you really hard.
Oh,
It'd
yeah.
be... Because it'd be like... I don't even know. It's like like a shovel.
My f- my
impaled
favorite
somebody.
my favorite part about the running of the bulls is that everyone is dressed like Chef Boyardee.
Are they dressed like him or are they dressed as him? Because there's a big difference between those two things.
I think they're dressed like him because they're all wearing white with red ascots.
Okay,
They
I was
don't
gonna
have
say,
chef
are there a bunch of
hats.
Chef Boyardee cosplayers running from a bull?
I think so. That's the gist of what I think is.
That's what I picked up. That's the information I gleaned. Is a bunch of
Yeah,
Chef
but pretty
Boyardees
much
running.
everyone was gored to death or hit, except for one person who was suffocated in a pileup.
You mean like people like
Started
fell over, he got,
falling
like...
and killed this young man who was
Oh my god!
very young. Not like a child, but he was young. This is like I've never wanted to call something from someone else's culture stupid, but this is just dumb.
It seems dangerous for no reason.
It really is. I mean, a lot of these things are dumb, and I don't like any of them really.
I mean, what's the harm in a little girl going out there and throwing a prawn? There's nothing.
It's still dumb.
It's not. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying.
Just saying, it's not.
At least they're not
dangerous.
hurting anybody.
Yeah, except for the prawns.
I don't care. You guys let a bunch of bulls run around if you want.
Yeah, go for it. I don't really care. I'm not
Go
going to
for it.
stop you. Now, I did say that I don't like any of these, but I may have lied because this next one is great. This next one comes from Colorado.
Okay.
It is called Frozen Dead Guy Days.
That sounds like a bad day. That sounds like a real bad day.
So I'm going to give you a little history rundown. I'm on their actual website, so I'm going to be clicking around on some tabs.
Frozen Dead Guy Day?
Yeah. What's there not to understand?
So is it... Yeah, nothing, right? It's completely normal.
History...
Okay,
they have their own... Yeah.
I'm just really curious how this is going to be celebrated.
The history. They have their own acronym. History of FDGD.
Who? Frozen Dead Guy?
Frozen Dead Guy Day. The true story, yes, it's all true. 30 years on ice. Grandpa Brito is over 110 years old. For years, he's taken up residence in a tough shed in the hills above Nederland, Colorado, where he remains very, very, very cold. More specifically, Grandpa is frozen in a state of suspended animation, awaiting the big thaw? The one that will bring him back to life. Did we just find a cult, Sam?
Yeah, this sounds like a cult. And with the great thaw, the world will be cleansed of sin.
There is a good story behind this, one that stretches from Norway to California to Colorado, involving cryonics, deportation, physics, celebrations, and a dedicated Iceman.
What? I don't even know what the hell's going on anymore.
It's a tale that has captured international attention and sparked a must-attend annual event called Frozen Dead Guy Days.
A tale as old as time.
Beauty and the Beast. So how did this all begin?
As old as rhyme.
And more importantly...
National Dead Guy Day.
So how did this all begin? And more importantly, particular for Grandpa Brito, how long will it last?
So you telling me they're going to try and tell me that there's a guy still up there frozen?
Yeah. I was reading up on this festival, and apparently people will go and see his body.
He's dead.
He's frozen. He's frozen.
So they're
He's
going
on ice.
They're going to look at a dead guy.
Basically. Grandpa Brito Morstol died from a heart condition in 1989. He enjoyed a comfortable life in Norway where he was born and raised. He left... I don't care about him. He's dead. After he died, things got really interesting. Instead of a burial, he was packed in dry ice and prepared for international travel. First, he was shipped to the Trans-Time Cryonics facility in Oakland, California, where he was placed in liquid nitrogen for almost 4 years. I think that alone has just killed any possibility of this man being resurrected.
Yeah, no. Have you seen what happens to tennis balls when, like, a science teacher puts it in liquid nitrogen?
And then hits it with a hammer, it explodes.
And it explodes.
Then he was moved to Colorado in 1993 to stay with his daughter and his grandson, both strong advocates for cryonics, who hope to start a facility of their own. There's a lot more... there's a lot more to this, but it's... The big thing is that they store this man in a tough shed cryogenic mausoleum, and they just kind of show him off every once in a while.
I don't understand. Why is this a day or a festival or whatever?
It's a festival. It's a couple of days. They got some merch. If you want some of that.
Well, hold on. We found the source. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Buy that merch.
So they've got events, of course. We've got pancake breakfast. They've got a pancake breakfast. Grandpa's mall crawl.
Hold on. No, you don't get to explain that right away. Grandpa's mall crawl?
Mall, like a mall.
Oh, I thought you said mole, like the burrowing
mammal.
Mammal.
Start digging around.
I was like, "What the hell is this?"
So
when did
yeah,
this start? Did this start around the time that they legalized marijuana in Colorado?
maybe. It totally seems like some people would do.
Dude, I found this old guy.
I found this old dead guy. My grandpa's been dead in a shed for a couple of years. You guys want to go see him?
He froze himself in liquid nitrogen. It's like totally sick.
Radical. Okay, so there's just a bunch of honestly, there's a lot of cool stuff like music stuff and live music and food things. Then around noon on the 9th, don't know which month this is going to be, but the 9th, they're going to have a parade of coffin racers and hearses.
What is with coffins?
I don't know. I mean, this one's all about dead people, like a dead man.
Frozen dead
Here's
people.
the thing. This is all about one specific dead man.
Who?
1 to 1:50
I don't.
or 1 o'clock to 2 p.m. There's a costume polar plunge. You jump into an icy tub time machine. But not only that, you have to pay to jump into this thing.
You have to pay to jump into freezing cold water. Mm-hmm. That's fun.
You get prizes for the best runner-up costumes, plus for the most impressive team plunge of 2 to 4 people. The picture it's showing me is a picture of 2 gents in Dumb and Dumber tuxedos, the orange and light blue ones. Then 2 to 3:30, there's coffin races. Now,
Please
you mentioned
tell me they slide them down a hill.
You mentioned no, it's people carrying a coffin with a person in it. Now, you mentioned marijuana, and the picture it's showing is people in Rastafarian jumpers with a big pot leaf on the middle. So it just kind of tells you what crowd it brings in.
What crowd this is pulling, yeah.
Then you got stuff like the Newly Dead game, the Frozen Dead Poet Slam, stuff like that. You know.
This is my least favorite.
You know how it is. Yeah. There's a human foosball thing where they get into a big foosball court and play human foosball.
You mean soccer? You mean fucking soccer?
Yeah, but they have to hold on to a big log. They also have a brain freeze contest. I'm done talking about this one. Okay. Now I can't physically have a brain freeze.
What?
Do you know that?
Like a scientist told you that?
Well, I just have never gotten a brain freeze ever, and I've tried. I've tried to give myself one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, so I would be very good at that competition, I guess. I would imagine the goal is to not get a brain freeze.
How fast can you get a brain freeze? Because they're really into people
all I would do.
death,
this is what I would do. I would just take a sip of a slushie and go, oh, ooh, my head hurts.
So you've never had a brain freeze?
No, not once in my life.
They suck.
Yeah,
I get them sometimes where it's like my back. It's like,
the thing that gets me is it's my throat. I get a throat freeze, and that kills me, dude. It makes me squirm because my throat just gets it starts hurting.
Huh.
This next one I want to talk about, this is a short one. This is called El Colacho. This one, we're going back to Spain. You know what this one is?
What are you doing?
You know what this one is?
I couldn't guess.
It's baby jumping. Now, when I say the two words "baby jumping," what do you imagine?
What picture first flashed through my mind? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you. You know, like people who jump hurdles.
Yeah.
I picture like that same track. Except there's just a line of babies every few feet.
You're not wrong.
They're just leaping over it. That's what the hell it is.
But there's more to it.
Right now?
No, there's more to it.
Do they hold a baby too?
No, I wish.
It started
in 1620.
Whoa, are they babies? Are they
The
babies
baby-
jumping over other babies?
There are no babies jumping. It is
Are
jumping
there
over
babies
babies.
jumping over people like normal people?
That would be great. I would
Jumping
love
babies. Like
that.
trampolines.
Here's the one. Here's what it's
Okay.
about.
What is it actually?
It started in 1620. Takes place annually to celebrate the Catholic feast of Corpus Christi. It appeared in the British newspaper The Guardian as one of the strangest holidays, which doesn't surprise me. During the act known as El Salto del Colacho, or the Devil's Jump, or simply El Colacho, men dressed as the devil in red and yellow suits jump over babies born during the previous 12 months or the year who lie on mattresses in the streets. The devils hold whips and oversized castanets as they jump over the infant children.
I just want to imagine.
I'm letting you drink that in real quick.
I just want to imagine somebody. It's like they're like, one person's like, yeah, one of my fondest childhood memories is like playing Pokemon and like with my dad. And he's like, you know what my favorite one was? When my dad, dressed like Satan, jumped over me when I was a little baby.
Now, when I first found this one, what I imagined was people dressed in like a Party City $5 devil costume. But these costumes be styling. Let me tell you.
No, I
what.
picture like the old fashioned devil.
Like, what do you
Like,
mean?
you know, where he's like all black and he's got like the red tongue. You know, like in like old manuscripts.
Oh, and he's
things.
like furry and stuff. Got goat
Yeah.
legs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Kind
they're
of like
just
Cuphead.
yeah. They're just guys in red and yellow. They look more like kind of Ronald McDonald cosplayers.
Ronald McDonald jumping over babies.
Yeah, that's basically what we're dealing with here. So yeah, that's it. It's apparently
Oh my god.
like that doing that is supposed to take out the original sin from the babies, even though they're only 12 months old at most. And what is a baby? I just like to imagine that they're like, my baby has sinned a lot, and then you just like cut over to the baby smoking a cigar, playing poker, and like paying for prostitutes. And you're just like, what the fuck? This baby needs to be jumped over.
Well, they mean original sin.
Yeah,
that
I know,
concept,
but
correct?
yeah. I was
But don't
Catholic.
Don't Catholics already have a thing for that where they sprinkle the baby and they
Isn't
don't
it
have
like-
to jump over him dressed as the devil?
I thought you had to. I thought the baptism was taking away that sin.
Yeah, no, you gotta be jumped over by a man dressed
Oh, I
as the devil.
forgot.
You forgot about that part.
I forgot about the part one. Yeah, when I was like 7 and I got baptized, I forgot that there was a man in a Party City devil costume that leapt over me.
No, you just didn't get it.
Oh yeah.
You just
So
need
yeah,
to do that.
this
soon.
next one is a short one.
Or Satan will reap your soul.
I've got 2 short ones real quick. Let's not get too into them because we're running over.
Okay.
This one, you know, I couldn't have talked about weird stuff and not eventually gotten to Japan. This one is called Kanamara Matsuri.
Okay.
Roughly translated to Festival of the Steel Phallus.
Oh shit.
It's-
Damn it.
It's Dick Fest.
Just a bunch of metal penises, isn't it?
It's Dick Fest, buddy.
Ugh.
The
Why?
Wikipedia page is just filled of dick sculptures, penile shaped sculptures. There's apparently shrines.
Pee-pee shrine.
Yeah, there's
So many beepuses.
so many peepus, so many. So yeah, that's Kanamana Matsuri, and last but not least,
I hate it. I hate it. I never want to see that ever. I hope that doesn't catch on anywhere else.
It's based off of a local shrine, so hopefully it doesn't.
Okay, I'll never go there.
Last but not least, I have a website here that is basically making me think that I dropped acid, but I know I didn't. It's Shrekfest. Give it up. Madison, Wisconsin is the first one to do what we've all wanted to do and hold a festival for the great kids movie Shrek. Um, so there's a very brief schedule. Um, it's basically all about Shrek. So at
How
3
many years
o'clock,
has this been going on?
huh?
How many years has this been going on?
Um, it doesn't say anywhere on here. They have merch, which is great. So they have like
I'd imagine.
this one's called the Shrekfeld hat. So it's you know the Seinfeld logo?
Yes.
Yeah, it's that, but instead of Seinfeld, it says Shrekfest.
Why?
Why not?
What? Seinfeld has nothing to do with Shrek.
And
Why not
your
like the
point
Shrek
is-
logo, but with Shrek Fest?
Well, I mean, there's a shirt that's like Shrek and Donkey drawn in Simpson style, where Shrek is Homer, Donkey is Bart, and Homer is choking Bart like he does in the show.
Great, great. I love it. I already got my tickets.
It's a very brief schedule at 3 o'clock. Oh, by the way, this is happening August 31st.
Still time.
It says
Get your
on
tickets.
it says on the website August 33rd. So Shrekfest, I'm gonna go ahead and call you out because it's not 33rd.
No.
Unless that's some weird Shrek thing. August 31st, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's in. Have you not read the Deep Lore?
Sorry, I'm not that into Shrek. It starts at 3 o'clock on August 33rd with a roar contest. Who can roar the best?
An ogre only roars when he's angry.
Yeah, and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. 4 o'clock, pin the tail on donkey, not on the donkey. At 5 o'clock, there's a costume contest. At 6 o'clock, there's Star 67. I would imagine is a band. It seems like they have bands every once in a while. Like at 4, there's Pepe Silva. At 5, there's Dumb Fidelity. At 6, there's Star 67. And at 7 o'clock,
Is Smash Mouth there?
Sadly, I don't think so.
Is Mike Myers there?
I don't know. I don't know who all is into this.
Is Cameron Diaz there?
No.
Eddie
I'm just
Murphy.
going to go ahead and say no. I'm just going to go ahead and say you can list off the rest of the cast, but I'm just going to go ahead and say no to all of them.
I'm gonna look him up real quick, so you have to say no to each one.
No, please don't.
Guy who played Pinocchio.
No.
Okay.
And at 7, to wrap it all up, there's an onion eating contest, a raffle, and then a screening of Shrek.
Why isn't there a mosh pit where everybody's dressed as Shrek?
A swamp, a swash pit, swamp pit. I
Nailed
don't
it.
know. Nailed it. Got it in one.
Got
Anyway,
it in
that's
one.
all I have.
That's all he's got.
God forbid that we ever do anything productive on this earth.
What is that supposed to mean?
All of these festivals just give me a lack of hope for humanity.
Come on. What about the one where they carry their loved ones in coffins?
What about the one where they dress as devils and jump over babies? What about the one
where they throw a tuna?
What about the one where they're just penises everywhere?
I think all of those are very important. But you know
Okay.
what happened today?
Hopefully none of those festivals.
In 1305,
Okay.
August 5th,
Yes.
William Wallace was executed.
No! No!
He was drawn and quartered, I believe. Correct?
I think so.
Which sounds like the worst way to die.
For those of you who don't know, William Wallace is who the movie Braveheart is based off of. Even though Braveheart wasn't William Wallace's nickname. Braveheart was actually, I think, King Robert the Bruce.
Ah, interesting.
Little fact I knew from when I worked at the Ren Fair.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we do that is nerdy, but we always say that as long as we don't live action role play, that we haven't crossed that threshold. I think I basically have,
You kind of did.
but I got paid for it.
To be fair, you were in a performing troupe. in a
Yeah,
sense,
and
right?
I was paid.
He was caught. He was captured by the English near Glasgow, and transported to London for trial and execution.
I think the whole thing is that he was glorified, but because he's like basically a martyr, but in reality he just didn't do a lot.
I don't know very much about that
I don't either.
period of
All I
history.
know is that he's not Braveheart. And he's
Well,
also not Mel Gibson.
well, he kind of is Braveheart, because that movie was about him, and it was called Braveheart. But I know that's not like his name. I know that's what you're getting at. Anyway, he got torn apart by horses.
Yeah. And isn't it when they draw and quarter you, they send each of the like quarters to different parts of England?
Yeah, they like. There's like your leg goes to one part, your arm goes to another,
Your other
your head
leg.
to another, so that nobody ever questions the king, or he'll tear you apart with horses.
Dude,
It's a warning.
I wish we still had like medieval medieval murder methods. Like, you know the Iron Bull or the Brass Bull or whatever?
No, I've never heard of that.
It's literally a big brass bull where they put you inside and put a fire under it. So the brass bull
God.
gets really hot, and as you scream in pain, the way that it's like made, it comes out as like a bull roar. I don't know what a bull does. Like a bull sound. Like a
Yeah,
yeah.
that's messed up. Or like in India when they would like crush people's limbs with an elephant.
Yeah,
Was that India I'm thinking of?
probably. I mean, it was either that or I don't know where else. It was either that or somewhere in Africa because I think that's the only places
maybe like
that
the Malians
elephants
or something
are.
like that, but they seem pretty chill.
Yeah, those are the only places that like elephants are native, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, that's what happened today.
yeah.
How long ago? It's 2019.
1305, like 700 years ago.
Yeah. So 700 years ago, a man got torn apart by horses.
Rip, my man. Pour
But
one out
it's
for
also it's also a holiday.
my. Is
so
it
we're gonna-
pour one out for my homie William Wallace Day?
No,
Oh,
it's
What is
something
it?
much more important.
okay.
We're just gonna mosey on over to Sam's Holiday Corner with
Yeah.
International Traffic Light Day.
You know them, you love them. Traffic lights, everyone.
I mean, a lot of people would die without traffic lights.
That's
Let's be
true.
honest.
No, they are very important.
They're very important.
There's like this love-hate relationship that everyone has, where there's always an area of like in or around where you live where you're like, God damn, they need a traffic light here. And then there's also the days where you just keep hitting red lights and you're like, I wish these things
hate-
never existed. So yeah, they're good. They're also
Yes.
annoying.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about traffic lights.
Well, they make me anxious because, like, if it's green and I'm like coming up on it, I like don't take my eyes off it. And I think that's kind of dangerous because I'm looking for if it's gonna turn yellow and I'm gonna have to slam on my brakes or not.
Well, I think if you got to kind of guess on the distance. If it turns yellow and you're close, you keep going.
Yeah, I always call it by like if there's like a turning lane.
Mm-hmm.
If I've reached the turning lane, I'm good. Like
I would
the
say you
spot
s-
where that
you would-
like branches off.
Yeah, I would say you'd still have like farther back to say.
Yeah, probably, but I love to scare people
I
around
get
me by
scared.
slamming on my brakes
Fair enough.
and throwing whatever's in my passenger seat into the floor.
Yeah, that happens a lot with me.
Oh, there goes my script. No.
No, I don't have a binder for it.
Oh, the papers are all jumbled.
Oh no,
Anyways,
my small child. Oops.
forgot to jump over him and dress as the devil.
No, you were taking them to the festival. Anyway, this has been from our perspective.
that's the holiday.
This has been our podcast, our silly podcast about silly things.
Bunch of chuckle boys, am I right?
Bunch of chuckle fucks. Anyway, this has been episode 28 of From Our Perspective. Thank you for listening. You can find us pretty much where podcasts are found in... Let me try that one again. You can find us anywhere where other podcasts are found. I think most of the bases we have covered at this point. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, YouTube. Those are all the main players to my knowledge. But yeah, find us there. Listen to us every Monday. We have 27 other episodes for your listening pleasure. And, you know, if you like us, leave us a review on those places, or make sure that you come back for more, or, you know, actually reach out to us and say, hey boys, you're doing a good job. Support your boys, please. But if you want to reach out to us, there's always social media. That's the easiest way to reach out to us. You can find us at FOP_pod on Instagram and Twitter. You could also find us on YouTube at From Our Perspective, and you can find us on Facebook at Large Lads. All those places we post. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you the platform that you listen to us on, you can't leave a review, you can't leave a like or anything like that, go follow us and tell us that we're doing a good job, or tell us that we're doing a bad job, so we can.
We're
fix
very
it.
Insecure. Please.
We're very insecure. Please don't be mean. I might cry to my mommy. But other than that, that's been our podcast. We post the podcast every Monday, and we will see you next Monday. I've been Trace.
And I've been Sam.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.